I'm Kevin Rutherford. Welcome to RG's Talent Tips. Today I'm going to show you how to be a more positive and happy leader. So let's dive right in. Over the years, I've read a lot of research on the effects of being positive, and the research is clear. It really pays to be positive. In fact, that research changed how I think and act. That's why if you know me, when someone asks me, "How am I doing?" I always have this response: outstanding, life is good. And you'd be surprised at the number of people who will say to me, "Wow, you're always so positive." Well, I am, and it's because I choose to be. Because every day starts that way. It's a mindset. The benefits of positivity really include things like better health, a longer lifespan, greater happiness, faster career advancement, improved performance, and even greater financial success. But being positive is not just a nice way to live. In my opinion, it's the way to live. Unfortunately, many believe that positive thinking and positive living have been considered nice things to do, but are not all that critical or corporate. Maybe a little bit too touchy-feely for the average organization. So, how can you become a more positive leader that brings out the best in others at work and at home? Let's go to the whiteboard. So the first thing that I would look at here, and I think this is the most critical, the first thing you need to do is make a decision. Make a decision and decide to be positive. Because positive leadership starts inside your head. You can choose to be positive or not. Now, that might sound pretty soft. In fact, it may seem to be a far cry from the old Theory X traditional model of leadership. But positive leaders know that their outlook or their mindset has a huge impact on everybody else in the organization. Your happiness rubs off on other people. It can become contagious. I'm sure you've been around those kind of people. So if you think about it, being positive and happy is an inside job. Because our inner happiness comes not from the work that we do, but more from how we feel about the work that we do. I tell you, I've met janitors, ditch diggers, and fast food employees who are more passionate about their jobs and happier than some professional athletes that I know who make millions of dollars. Bottom line, your outlook is not dependent on anything other than your own decisions. And positive leaders decide to be upbeat and happy every day. You'd be wise to consider making that same decision. So, secondly, let's think about this. Make sure that your motivation comes from creating what I call greatness and not greed. Greatness, not greed. Because positive leaders always want to do something that is great, which is why they're more concerned with giving rather than taking. And even more important, they're more concerned with making a difference than they are with making their mark. The world needs more men and women of greatness to lead them. Unfortunately, too many people think that greatness is all about a title or a position. And if they never have that big fancy title or the office that they're looking for in the corner, they don't even try to pursue a life and a career of greatness. If you want to be a positive leader, if you want to be great, then let giving to others be your motivation. Remember Jim Collins' old level 5 model of leadership. By contrast, you become a negative leader when you're out to get something for yourself, no matter how much it costs or who it hurts. You become a negative leader when you're driven by greed, taking whatever you want whenever you want it. If you're going to be a positive leader, make sure that your motivation is coming from the right place. Third, apply what I call positive energizers to the workforce and the workplace. Because in today's marketplace, we need positive leaders who engage and motivate their teammates to be their very best. The old standard of getting by is no longer good enough, especially in a world economy that is highly competitive. So here are a couple different ideas on energizers that positive leaders can apply to the workplace and to the workforce. So first, they take time to connect. They spend time together with their team. They talk about what's going right, what's needed, and how everyone is feeling. And in the process of recognizing their achievements and recognizing the pressures that they're under, they connect with their team as human beings. Next, they add an element of fun to an organization's culture. This kind of reminds me of when I was in high school. I painted houses during the summer with fellow students, and it seemed like every week one of us was falling off a ladder or falling off the roof while we were painting. So my boss created this thing that he called the Ben Franklin Challenge. He told all of us he'd give everyone on the team a crisp $100 bill if everyone could go without any accidents for a month. Now, $100 may not sound like much to you, but trust me, in 1975, the minimum wage was $2.10 per hour. If you do the math, $100 was almost a third of our paychecks. And I'm happy to report we did it. And the program was extended on a month-to-month basis because it really pulled all of us together. It wasn't the money per se, but it was because he made it fun. It was really a challenge that all of us could buy into. So next time you're thinking about this, you might want to ask yourself, what are you doing to make work fun for your people? Another thing is that they express gratitude on a regular basis. Positive leaders look for things that are going well, and then they make a point of expressing their gratitude for those things. They give positive feedback, they send out positive notes, and they keep a record of the team's accomplishments. Sharing your gratitude and compliments is one of the cheapest and most effective forms of compensation ever. Because people will run through walls for a great leader, but not necessarily cash. Okay, number 4. Another thing you can do here is dig deeper and understand more by reading, surprise, right? Reading a book or two. You know how much I love to read. Because as I've said earlier, there's a wealth of research on the topics of positivity and happiness. And quite frankly, happiness has been proven repeatedly to drive performance and success. Now, that's not surprising to me. I'm sure that if we kind of reflect on a time when we all felt happy, we'll notice a couple things. That when we're more positive, we're also more engaged, more creative, more able to cope with stress, and more productive. So, here are 2 books that I recommend of the many that I've read on the topic that really resonated with me. Hopefully, if you choose to read one or both of those, you'll find the same to be true for you. Now, the first book is called Happiness by Design, Finding Pleasure and Purpose in Everyday Life by Paul Dolan. The book answers the question of how can we make it easier to be happy? The title refers to redesigning our lives in order to maximize happiness. How? Well, according to Dolan, it's all about our decisions. He argues that by making informed, deliberate choices without thinking too hard about maximizing our happiness, that we can discover a life that is characterized by meaning and pleasure. The second book is the one that's a little bit more practical too, and it's called The Happiness Advantage, How a Positive Brain Really Fuels Success in Work and Life. And this is by Sean Anker. He's the co-designer of Harvard's happiness course. He conducted the largest ever study on happiness and human potential, surveying more than, I think it was like 1,600 students. And based on this study, Anker revealed 7 core principles of positive psychology that every person can practice to enhance their performance, improve their career, and achieve success at work. Personally, I found The Happiness Advantage to be a useful book for those seeking practical advice on the ways to really become happier and also more successful. So now, You really have 4 ideas that you can leverage on how to be a more positive and happy leader. My challenge to you, take action. Set yourself a mini goal for this week. Select just one of the ideas from this video that you'll focus on this week to become a more positive leader. Now, go make it happen and be outstanding, because life is good. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something that you can apply right away. If you did and want more, please subscribe to our channel below and check out our website for even more content, handouts, and free tools that'll take you from where you are to where you want to be. Until next time.